Tonight's main event will be a single bout scheduled for one fall. It will be the only one-on-one matchup for the Premier Championship between these two competitors. And with a special stipulation, if LeRusso Sport interferes in tonight's matchup, the challenger will be suspended indefinitely from Premier. However, if the culmination interferes, the champion is stripped of his championship and it is awarded to the challenger here tonight.
Main event time, Premier Championship Wrestling's Doomsday. Could it be Doomsday for the title reign of the New Age Plague, thanks to the heir apparent?
Joe, you know who you could be looking at right now? He just did it for me. That means the belt, the championship, the title, the top of the mountain here in Premier. And that's the man that wants it. And that's the man that, whether you want to admit it or not, has the ability to take it.
Chris LeRusso has been a master manipulator since day one in Premier Championship Wrestling. He's surrounded himself with the likes of Ron Mathis, Gannon Jones Jr., Duke Davis. He used Atticus Cogar's temper to gain the #1 contendership. A couple of conveniently placed kendo sticks and a couple of references to Otis Cogar. LeRusso knew it would get under Atticus' skin. Atticus saw red, and next thing you know, Atticus was disqualified, and LeRusso had a clear path to the Premier Championship. What if the heir apparent realizes his destiny and ascends his throne tonight?
I would have to say the Premier will never be the same going forward. Do you remember how happy he was? How Chris LeRusso was just beaming with pride when Ron Mathis, a member of his court, won that Premier Championship? Just close your eyes and picture the pride in his heart that he will feel if he's able to capture that tonight.
Imagine the fear in his gut hearing the music of his opposition.
Well, there is a lot of fear to be had when you're standing across the ring from Gory. No doubt about that.
The New Age Plague has reigned as champion as a means of solidifying Premier as culmination turf. Gory ended Ron Mathis' 399-day stranglehold on the Premier Championship, was the only man that could figure out forever. And Gory has been unstoppable ever since. The infection has spread, and the championship has been firmly in the trenches of the culmination ever since.
This is your main event of Premier Championship Wrestling's Doomsday event, a singles bout scheduled for one fall for the Premier Championship. Introducing first the challenger in the corner to my right, in the black and gold, representing LeRusso's court. He hails from the city of champions, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He weighs at 195 pounds. He is the heir apparent, Chris LeRusso.
Shut up. Jovial mood as always.
In the red and black, representing the culmination. He is the reigning and defending Premier Champion, the New Age Plague, Gory!
The look in the eyes of Gory normally tells a deeper story than 1,000 words could do. Gory is focused. Gory has known that this turf war has been glorified class warfare for quite some time, as you see the prize at stake. LeRusso, because of the way he lives, the money he has, and the connections he's made, feels he's better than the Culmination, who have had to survive on the streets and certainly work very hard for every bit of table scraps they've got.
Well, Joe, the old adage, money is power, is not just something that people say, it's because it's true. Whether people want to admit it or not, class warfare is very, very important. It's how the country runs. It's how everything runs. And somebody like LeRusso, and I relate myself to, didn't want to interrupt, relate myself to him, as somebody that has money immediately means you have power, and Chris LeRusso cannot get enough power.
Keep in mind, we heard LeRusso say a moment ago, it's just you and me. If anyone from LeRusso's court gets involved in this match, the match immediately stops, and LeRusso is back on an indefinite suspension, as he was earlier in the year. If anyone from the Culmination, Crummels, or Defarge interfere in this matchup, then Gory will immediately be stripped of the Premier Championship, and it will be handed to Chris LeRusso on a disqualification technicality. This will be one-on-one. This is the only one-on-one meeting between the two men. The de facto leaders of the respective groups in this turf war wind up one-on-one in this environment. Winner take all for the Premier Championship.
We'll definitely find out who the better man is. Maybe even find out which of these gangs truly do run Premier. Obviously, both factions have held championships. Both factions can claim right to running this company, in a sense.
Well, they've certainly traded championships. And Gory, we're going to take a bite out of the hand of LeRusso, who reverses the wrist lock. Certainly, LeRusso's very calculated. He's a thinking man's wrestler. Gory is very, very difficult to prepare for, but I believe there's a way to do it LeRusso has, who avoids the bite of Gory for a second time. Notice the space LeRusso's keeping between himself and Gory.
Well, that's what you got to do. He knows those razor-sharp teeth are going to cut right through him. Normally, when everybody else is playing checkers, Chris LeRusso is playing advanced chess. But you just said it, with a guy like Gory, sometimes Gory's chess pieces are a little bit jagged and a little bit sharp and a little bit painful. It's going to be Chris LeRusso going to have to combat that. And there's no other man that might be capable.
Roll up here for two. Now it's Gory rolling LeRusso up. LeRusso, a size advantage in this matchup, has probably about 20 pounds on Gory. But Gory's certainly the quickness. Sunset flip, shoulders down. LeRusso rolls forward. And both men back and forth, evenly matched contest. LeRusso, can he keep his shoulders off the canvas? He does. Impressive into the backslide. That's Gory. Up with a crucifix, shoulders down, stacks him up. LeRusso counters. Evenly matched, even kill with Gory as he's setting up that mist, and LeRusso out of the way. I'm not sure where that mist comes from.
I don't think I want to know.
I shudder to think where it's going, but Gory, certainly that debilitating, blinding mist could be a game changer. And I'm not sure, BC, if that would have been a disqualification or not, but that would not be a means that LeRusso would win the championship if Gory had done that.
Well, it's certainly something that LeRusso had scouted for. You saw him just jump backwards. He knew what was coming.
I'm the champ.
Gory and LeRusso. Oh, LeRusso got baited in by Gory a bit that time.
Gory's a man that he'll play his chess games, his mind games as well, just with the best of them.
And after several minutes of avoiding the plague, LeRusso gets infected time and time again, from head to toe.
And if you want to talk the tail of the table, Gory has the speed, LeRusso has the size, but everywhere else these two are evenly matched, no doubt.
Sideline head scissors connects, and Gory up and modified takeover. LeRusso tried to get an arm in to block it, but Gory still got the momentum. And Gory and LeRusso jockeying for position, and the springboard takes the heir apparent to the floor.
Well, even with LeRusso trying to counter, Gory had a counter for the counter.
That's Gory going to take a chance. And the baseball slide, drop kick connects.
You know, to a lot of men, a championship is something that they want. It's something they want to put on their mantle. They want to show people. They want to tell people the story of when they won it. It's something that Chris LeRusso needs. It's like oxygen. It's like he's in the ocean and somebody hands him a lifeboat or a life preserver. And that, in this case, is the Premier Championship. I mean, it's what he strives for. We saw what it meant to him to have it in his court, but to have it around your waist, to be the owner of it, is something completely different.
Gory raking up and down the body of LeRusso. LeRusso sidestepped. And Gory hits the guardrail hard. Once again biting, and LeRusso sends Gory face first. That quench for flesh that Gory has may be distracting and debilitating. LeRusso was able to counter. Gory hits the steel hard, and again, the thinking man's wrestler, LeRusso, attempting to stay a step ahead of the animalistic impulse.
Well, having been side by side with Chris LeRusso before, he's a man that studies. He's a man that studies everything. Let's not forget, Ron Mathis did quite a number to Gory's knee just at our last event, so we know that there is a chance. So we saw what J-Rock had done to Gory as well, so there's a chance Gory may not be 100%. You'd have to think that Chris LeRusso is well aware of everything going on right now.
I think that's a great point that you hit on. Gory has not been letting anyone in on any update on his health, but you know he's less than 100%. As Gory bites at LeRusso again, but knee issues leading into Mathis, neck issues leading into J-Rock. Last time we saw Gory, J-Rock pile drove Gory on a chair, saying that was a message from Chris LeRusso. LeRusso bided his time. Didn't get his title shot right away. He let J-Rock jump ahead in line. I think LeRusso knew that one of two things would happen. Either J-Rock would beat Gory and LeRusso would have a bit more friendly fire to contest with, or J-Rock would take the payoff to hurt Gory and set LeRusso up there as well.
Well, LeRusso is, in a sense, a general. Oh, wait a minute.
How to press. 2 count only.
I think that was more just to force Gory to expel that energy of a kick out, not hooking the leg there, not really press himself vertically over the shoulders as should be. But Chris LeRusso is a general. He's won a lot of wars, and a lot of times it's because he's got soldiers that are willing to go down for him, willing to do the dirty work, willing to dig the trenches, willing to dive in there, to where LeRusso, for lack of a better way to put it, can pick at the bones, and that's kind of how he's made a name. He's the master manipulator. He's the not the mind eraser, that would be Remy LeVay, but he's certainly one to use that mind to his advantage.
And Gory biting the top of the head again. There are no more soldiers for Chris LeRusso tonight. It is one-on-one as Gory gets the head scissors. LeRusso the foot up.
Now make no mistake, Chris LeRusso has no problem getting his hands dirty, getting his feet dirty, doing what he has to do to achieve victory.
Beautiful drop kick.
Go back to Pittsburgh! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Late choke by LeRusso.
Smart man using the full extent of that referee's count.
Again, one-on-one environment. LeRusso risks suspension. Gory risks being stripped of the championship. If anybody should intervene, as Gory trips up the heir apparent. Gory going to use his body offensively, but LeRusso out of the way, and Gory, his own momentum works against him. Hard tumble to the floor.
Just goes back to what I said about Chris LeRusso knowing his opponent, knowing what's coming for him. You have to think that he talked to Duke Davis, to Gannon Jones Jr., to Ron Mathis, maybe even to J-Rock, to Tony Johnson, anybody that he could talk to try and get an edge, try and get a one-up on Gory, to try and move those pieces around so it better suits him. You can see that look on LeRusso's face. He's biding his time, and he is letting Gory recover, but he's also moving those pieces around, trying to see what's going to happen next. Can I do this? Can I do that? Where's Gory going to go?
LeRusso's thinking ahead, while Gory's just thinking about getting back in the fight in the now. And this is not going to be a situation. I don't think LeRusso ever expected there to be a count-out victory here. LeRusso is just measuring the New Age play. Whoa, hey!
Now that's a mistake by LeRusso, I know.
And Gory just missed it LeRusso in the face! Gory found his opening for that miss! And LeRusso LeRusso can't see, and the ref can't call when he doesn't see Gory the knees. LeRusso is blinded, and the champion has an opening.
I'll tell you, LeRusso shoving Joe McCoy might have been the first mistake he's made in this matchup. He could be seconds away from well, flat out failing, for lack of a better way to put it.
Oh, slide, LeRusso hits hard.
First, he's going to have to worry about more than failing if he's going to be taking shots like that on the outside. This is Gory's sweet spot, so to speak. I spoke too soon. LeRusso took care of that. I was going to say it's his sweet spot when he starts to get that advantage.
LeRusso, desperation. Found whatever he could near him and sent Gory to the steal, but Gory is tenacious. Look out. Oh, LeRusso drops Gory on the ring frame. And LeRusso, Gory sliding in, broke that count. Imagine a count out in the only one-on-one meeting these two will have. Russ, kick countered. Gory drops down with the knees. That may have hurt Gory as well as back absorbing the punishment, and LeRusso sent in hard.
You can see, I think Gory felt that effect just like you said.
Amazing hang time though on a springboard drop kick. Will this be 2.5?
We saw Gory get the full extent of that as he bounced off that top rope. Maybe that knee injury not quite as bad, or at least not letting on.
The look on LeRusso's face tells the story. And Gory is attempting the Soul Eater, but couldn't get LeRusso's grip away from the rope, and LeRusso a super kick. Gory shrugs it off, but couldn't get the second as LeRusso measures Gory right in the side of the jaw.
Joe, we got a new champion.
This could be it. No!
LeRusso took about half a second to crawl over there, trying to get that mist out of the eyes. That might have been the difference.
And you can hear this crowd come alive for the New Age Plague. And LeRusso, figure 4 perhaps? Fighting free however he can. LeRusso out of harm's way, and a kick right to the temple. Gory got drilled. LeRusso, K-Brada, did he get an outfit? Cover here. Near fall, LeRusso landed high on Gory, but not enough, and now LeRusso submission, an inverted variation of a figure 4, and Gory's trapped.
And LeRusso has it flush, he has it tight, he's got those lower appendages wrapped up, and this is not good news for Gory. I don't know if we're going to ever see Gory submitted. It's definitely out of his character, but you got to imagine the pain. If there is an injury currently, it's certainly re-aggravated.
Gory reaching for a rope. Whatever he can get to. Will he tap? Gory finds his way to salvation.
Again, you see LeRusso using that 4 count. He's just trying to take Gory down as best he can. You don't want to let Gory fly. You don't want to let Gory's speed be a factor, but you also got to keep your distance. It's a dichotomy of a strategy, as is Chris LeRusso.
I think LeRusso sent it.
Long live the new king.
King could be about to claim his throne. He may be a heartbeat away from making history.
Bow down to me, Gory. Ah!
And Gory not going to let it happen. Gory's got LeRusso by the throat, and now the Soul Eater. LeRusso's not near a rope. Oh, counter. Desperation with the snake eyes. And LeRusso drilled Gory that time. Gory lands on the top of his head.
If LeRusso can get over there in time and hook that leg. Oh, wait a minute.
That'll do it, no!
I was going to say, if LeRusso can press his body and hook that leg. We saw the damage done to Gory's legs earlier with that modified submission move.
The face of Premier could change if LeRusso wins the championship. Wait a second.
Billy, you're only making this worse on yourself. Stay down.
I will do the same thing to you that I did to Otis Coger. And Atticus is going to have to do the same thing he did when I finished
wait a minute.
Otis. Sit there and watch it like an impotent cuck.
Well, Joe Dombrowski took up. We have an issue now with Atticus coming down to ringside. This does not bode well. Remember, if Atticus interferes in this matchup, Gory is stripped of the championship, and it goes right to LeRusso's. We see officials, we see Remy LeVay, we see security, and Joe Dombrowski himself attempting to hold back Atticus. Atticus has a weapon of some sort. Wait a minute, there's LeRusso. Or excuse me, Gory. Gory has the Soul Eater on. LeRusso's gonna tap. That's Gory's submission. He's put away a number of individuals. There's one. There's that second. We could have a tap out right now. LeRusso could be done. Oh, and Atticus is broke free. Oh, this is not good. You see Gory shaking his head. Gory stopped him. Atticus was going to bring that down, and
He's about to drop his head! You heard how he talked about me! You heard how he talked about my brother!
but LeRusso just knocked Gory right into Atticus. Atticus is down. Oh, LeRusso with the low blow behind the referee. The referee's got attempting to attend to shenanigans on the outside. Wait a minute, LeRusso just hit Gory with that headlock driver. That's Atticus's move one. We've got a new Premier Champion. As LeRusso just stared down Atticus.
And the new Premier Champion, Chris LeRusso.
And I talked about it. Chris LeRusso likes to send a message. It is Atticus's, if you want to use the term, fault that Chris LeRusso was the #1 contender. And now you can squarely place the blame on Atticus for Gory no longer being the Premier Champion. Atticus let his temper get the best of him. We saw LeRusso throw Gory into Atticus, knocking Atticus out of the ring. The low blow, and that is why after the head, oh no, here we go. Oh, this thing's breaking down. LeRusso obviously couldn't be happier. LeRusso is your new Premier Champion, but right now we have the culmination falling apart. We see Remy trying to play peacemaker in all this.
You like it personal. Like you always do.
I believe we heard Gory obviously threw it in Atticus's face as the reason LeRusso is the Premier Champion. Attempting to say, just like you always do. There's a parting shot, smiling like a Cheshire cat, your new Premier Champion.
Supposed to be a miracle in the house! These people, this town, this building, we together, come on! What don't you have eyes? I had that match one. I had that match. I know you did. Gory! Over your brother. Come on! Atticus! Gory!
Well, you heard Gory just say your brother's gone, trying to reason with Atticus as we have Remy, we have Joe Dombrowski, we have official security, everyone trying to play peacemaker, finally trying to separate these two. You just saw Atticus throw that culmination armband in the ring. I can tell you two things. One, Chris LeRusso is your new Premier Champion, and the culmination may be done.
Get him in the back. I tried to chain him to a chair. Chain him to a chair. No.